Prime Minister's India visit. Narayan, let's start with you here. We know that Mr. David Cameron, he wrote something in The Hindu in July 2010. There was a right away. He talked about 2-3 different challenges that India and Britain together need to really.
President, that has upset the Indians. I think is obviously preparing ground. There are only 400 now. I mean, if you not a large number as compared to the Americans, they are going to pull them out by next year. So he wants to make sure that they can make a graceful exit, and so, but the whole world knows that Pakistan plays a certain kind of role in Afghanistan, and the Indians were not involved in that, of course, but we have a trilateral dialogue with the United States, Afghanistan and India, which I think is going on right now in Delhi and so on. So that certainly was one thing which I think has upset the Indians, and there is a feeling among policymakers in Delhi that once the Americans and the British, the NATO forces withdraw from Afghanistan, what is Pakistan going to do? I mean, is Taliban waiting for them to go and then go back to what happened more than 10 years ago before the Americans entered Afghanistan and so on? So I think it's very important to involve India, Iran, and neighboring countries of Afghanistan in any kind of process that
would like to really push forth that particular move too. How do you look at the defense ties here?
So defense ties are obviously increasing, and Eurofighter is Southeast Asia, within South Asia. So there is a recognition that India is not really the kind of country which is not dependent on foreign aid. India itself is providing aid, but at the same time there is also a possibility that both India and UK, as well as with many other traditional donors, now we are also building our own kind of aid architecture. So far whatever we have done in Afghanistan and many other places, these are kind of ad hoc decisions. We already have now a new department within the foreign ministry. We are also learning new kind of rules of the game. And DFID and many other agencies within the UK, as well as many other European countries, they do have a lot of expertise. And maybe there is a possibility, it's not in that sense that we would be actually receiving aid from UK. At the same time, we can work together maybe in third countries, maybe in Africa, maybe in Afghanistan, in many other places where they are also working, we are also providing aid. So in that sense, there are different kind of new partnership which I think perhaps can emerge in the years to come, and which is quite high growth, and investment still is happening in India, and is hopefully it will happen more in the next few years. So they are looking Indian market where they can have linkages in the infrastructure development, in many other areas, and particularly in the financial services. So that's why I would say that still I think what is going to happen in the trade deal between India and the European Union and bilateral relationship between India and the UK, this is what I think is going to drive the relationship, and many more areas.
Right, well. Like he wrote that I believe that to spread opportunity for all our people from Delhi to Dundee, from Bangalore to Birmingham, we would benefit from a common strategy for economic growth. But Mr. Shashank, the timing of this this meeting between the Prime Minister, the British Prime Minister, as say that in Britain will offer any kind of help in the investigation that India would require. He also iterated, he also talked about the Britain having tough anti-bribery laws, and those being and anyone who's guilty would be punished. Do you see any sort of development even happening on that front?